Rachel arrived in our town at the beginning of my junior year. She was a sophomore, and like every new girl who transferred in, she immediately became the subject of attention among the guys. But Rachel wasn't like anyone we'd seen before. Her long black hair framed a pale face with striking blue eyes. She was slim and dressed in plain, modest clothing that looked more like something a mother would wear than a teenager. She never wore makeup, earrings, bracelets, or any of the accessories most girls at school seemed to love. The popular athletes took one look at her and quickly lost interest. As for me, I was busy dealing with my usual disappointment. Every fall I signed up for soccer, and every fall I got cut from the team. This year was no different. I wasn't athletic, too small, too slow, and completely lacking any natural talent for sports. I loved watching them, though. The one thing I was actually good at was shooting. Whether it was a rifle or a pistol, I had decent aim. It was strange considering my family spent most of their time supporting anti-war causes, but somehow I had developed a talent for it. That afternoon, carrying my soccer gear home after being cut from the team, I passed the front steps of the school. Rachel was walking out. "Hi," she said. I wasn't exactly experienced when it came to talking to girls, but I figured I had nothing to lose. "Hey, you're new here, right?" "Yes." Her answer was short and direct. "Where did you go to school before this?" "I moved here from Chicago. I attended Longwood." "I've never heard of it," I admitted, then quickly added, "Not that it matters." She smiled faintly. "I'm Charlie Barton." Rachel Manley. As it turned out, she lived along my route home, so we ended up walking together. During that walk, I learned quite a bit about her. Her mother worked nights at a UPS distribution center, while her father was a steamfitter who spent a lot of time unemployed. She had an older brother who remained in Chicago after graduation. We were both inexperienced when it came to relationships and both felt like outsiders in town. After a brief silence, she asked, "Do you listen to rap?" "Not really. I prefer jazz." I started naming musicians I liked. To my surprise, she recognized every one of them. Soon we were trading names of artists and albums back and forth, each trying to impress the other with our knowledge. For the first time, I saw her genuinely smile. When we reached her street, she stopped. "I turn here. I can walk you the rest of the way." Her expression changed immediately. "No. Please don't. Not today." Before I could ask why, she hurried away. The next morning, I left home earlier than usual so I could meet her at the corner. From then on, walking to and from school together became our routine. Although she often came to my house after school, she never allowed me near hers. One rainy afternoon, after my mother left for work, she suggested I lend Rachel an umbrella and walk her home. Rachel immediately shook her head. "It'll probably stop raining." When my mother was gone, Rachel sat quietly on the couch. "My father can't see me with a boy," she said. "Why not?" She looked down. "Because he'd kill me." The statement shocked me. After a long pause, tears filled her eyes. "If I tell you something, will you promise not to tell anyone?" I promised. What followed was the most disturbing story I'd ever heard. Rachel revealed that years earlier, after a day of drinking, her father had crossed a line no parent ever should. When she tried to tell her mother, she wasn't believed. Trapped and terrified, she had spent years living in fear. School and my house were the only places where she felt safe. Her father controlled every aspect of her life, forbidding friendships and threatening anyone who came close to her. She described him as unpredictable, intimidating, and impossible to reason with. As she cried, I sat beside her, unsure of what to say. "I wish there was some way I could help," I finally said. She managed a weak smile. "Thank you. Just having someone believe me helps." After that day, our friendship changed. We spent even more time together, doing homework, listening to music, watching television, or simply talking. One afternoon, Rachel noticed a photograph of my sister Olivia. "You two look a lot alike," she observed. She studied the picture for a moment before asking an unusual question. "Could you fit into some of her clothes?" I stared at her. "Why would I do that?" Rachel hesitated. "I think I have an idea that might help me, but I need you to trust me." I had no idea where the conversation was heading, but curiosity eventually got the better of me. Reluctantly, I agreed. After that, Rachel helped complete the disguise. She added a pair of pantyhose and a white slip before dressing me in a simple blouse and a navy skirt. The outfit felt strange at first, but not nearly as uncomfortable as I had expected. The biggest issue was the shoes. Olivia's feet were narrower than mine, even though they were about the same length. "Try these socks," Rachel suggested, handing me a pair of white cotton ankle socks. "They should make the shoes fit a little better." After a few adjustments, the shoes became manageable. She studied me carefully. "The clothes work, but your hair is too short." I shrugged. "A lot of girls wear baseball caps." Her eyes lit up. "That's actually a good idea." She tucked a few folded handkerchiefs beneath the cap to create the illusion of longer hair pulled up underneath. Then she searched through Olivia's makeup collection and found a tube of lipstick. A few minutes later, she stepped back to examine her work. "That should do it." I walked over to the mirror and stared at my reflection. Looking back at me was an ordinary teenage girl, not particularly attractive or unattractive, just average. "Well," I sighed, "I'm definitely not winning any beauty contests." Rachel laughed softly. "You don't need to. Come on." "Come on where?" "You'll see." The idea of being seen dressed like that made me nervous, but Rachel insisted it wouldn't take long. As we walked, she finally explained her plan. She wanted me to meet her father. At least then someone besides her would know exactly what kind of man he was. When we arrived, he wasn't home. Unfortunately, he returned not long afterward. The moment he walked through the door, he made Rachel's warning seem completely justified. His behavior was crude, inappropriate, and deeply unsettling. His appearance only added to the impression: unkempt, disheveled, and clearly under the influence. I could feel my anger rising, but Rachel's glance reminded me to stay calm. Eventually, she grabbed my arm and hurried me outside. As we walked away, I asked quietly, "Does he really mean the things he says?" Rachel nodded. "Every word." The situation felt hopeless. I suggested speaking to the authorities, but Rachel had little faith anyone would believe her. For years, her accusations had been dismissed or ignored. Still, now there was at least one other witness. That evening we spent hours trying to think of a solution, but nothing seemed practical. The next morning, an idea came to me. I called Rachel before school and asked how things had gone the night before. Her voice sounded tired. "He kept talking about you," she admitted. "You definitely got his attention." After ending the call, I decided to act on the plan I'd been considering. Later that day, I returned to the Manley house. What happened there changed everything. In a moment of fear, confrontation, and desperation, Rachel's father died. The event unfolded quickly, leaving me shocked and overwhelmed. I barely understood what had happened until it was already over. Panicked, I left the house and returned home, trying to process the reality of what had occurred. The following day, local newspapers reported the death as an unsolved homicide. Investigators found few leads, and the case quickly lost momentum. Life slowly moved forward. After the funeral, Rachel questioned me more than once. I avoided giving direct answers, but I always suspected she knew far more than she let on. Despite everything, our friendship survived. Over time, it became something much deeper. Years passed. We built a life together, married, and eventually raised a family of our own. 12 years later, after the children had gone to bed and the house had grown quiet, I finally told Rachel the entire truth. For the first time in over a decade, there were no secrets between us.